So I wanted to tell the story about an emergency that occurred while I was here traveling internationally. This is not an emergency that I would say that most people would have, especially if they have access to an iPhone, but it could. So I'm going to share my experience here on this video, and I'm going to let you see a nice calming park that is in Bogota, Colombia, with the dogs and the kids, and just it's very peaceful there. So I'm going to tell the story while you watch this video. Okay, so here's what happened. Before I get started, my name is Dr. Chelsea Smart, and I have destination videos on my YouTube channel called Chelsea Cities. Um, Let me tell you what happened here. So I travel a lot, and I travel with my cell phone, like everybody. But my phone is a Google Pixel phone, a 7A, and I've not really had any problems with it so far. So I'd already been out of the country for maybe 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and then my battery stopped charging. So I thought that it was a problem with I wasn't charging it fully at home where I was. So I kept losing my phone access. So I was like, okay, I'll just carry my charger with me. And so I was doing that until it got really bad. It wouldn't even go like 10 minutes without the charge completely exhausting itself. So at that point, I knew I had a problem. And so I started searching, um, online using Google, Gemini, the AI, Google Maps, just trying to figure out where can I purchase a battery for my cell phone. Well, turns out that not many people, including the US, use the Google Pixel phone. And in Colombia, they don't have it at all. They stopped selling it altogether. So now I'm sitting here like, okay, I need a phone for the rest of my time and the rest of my time while I'm traveling in Colombia. And then after Colombia, I don't go back to the US for a while. So I need some kind of access to a phone. Things that you never think about because you just assume everybody has the same technology. Well, that's an assumption that you shouldn't make. Even if you have an iPhone, they might not have the version you want. So here I am. I asked Google Gemini, what are my options? My phone battery cannot be replaced. So what am I going to do in the interim? And so it had a number of suggestions, and one of them was you could um, order a phone from Amazon. Well, Amazon doesn't deliver phones the cheapest phone that I could find here to Colombia. And even if it did, you know, if you've ever tried to get some kind of product through Amazon internationally, there's an issue with addresses, right? It's not the same thing if you're in an Airbnb you have to figure out how to put the address in. Didn't matter to me because they didn't want to deliver a phone. So my other option after, looking around, looking at all the technology stores, let's get into the technology stores. So we're used to going to like the big package store like Best Buy or, any Target and buy, you have products there. You can even look online to see what they have. Well, I was looking for like the cheapest phone I could get that would support my chip from the US and that would also either allow me to put a chip in for a SIM for whatever country I'm going to or an eSIM. Turns out the eSIMs is not found in the cheapest phones. And then once I found some kind of phone, talking to people here and people back in the US, then I had to see who had the phone. So again, finding the product in the stores that were available was almost impossible without contacting them by WhatsApp, talking to whoever is on the other side. So once I found one place and it was very small, it didn't tell you what kind of products they have, it had very limited selection shown online. So I contacted them by WhatsApp. They told me which phones they had, in Colombian pesos. Then you have to do your conversion. Then you have to see what kind of phone it is, right? Will it accept your SIM card? Is it unlocked? Is it refurbished, like the ones that you see online? The ones on Amazon said they were unlocked, and a lot of people's reviews were like, no, they're not unlocked. So that wasn't an option anyway, and luckily I didn't even fall for that. So after all this, I went back and forth with this one store owner or customer service, and I went to get this phone. Um, limited Spanish. I'm wandering around. I can't find the building. I finally find where I'm supposed to go, and the people are really nice, and they help me, and I get this phone. But then you have to remember, if you take your SIM card out of your real phone and had all your passwords and everything stored somewhere else or in that phone, now you can't access this, to start your phone. If you use Google and your stuff's in Google, you must remember what your Google passwords are in order to upload and get your new phone working. So after I did all that and set it up, things worked fine. But this was a cautionary tale, um, that I guess a lot of people won't have problems with, but it could be that you have such a updated iPhone that you won't find that product in the new country or the country that doesn't have it. So be mindful that this could happen, and this is not an emergency that most people can plan for ahead of time. So what I ended up having to do was buy a whole nother cell phone. So this cell phone is the cheapest they have, and it doesn't take eSIMs. So now I have to find another. I have to find a physical SIM to put in there with my SIM from the U.S. So let that be a lesson to you. There's nothing you can do to plan for something like this. Just be willing to pivot. And that's it for this video. I'll be making some other videos on my travel site. My destination site is called Chelsea Cities, and this is Dr. Chelsea Smart.